Viewers, we welcome you all on the AMD Day 2 of Shaastra 2022 for yet another fabulous lecture of the Spotlight Lecture Series presented by MPS Incorporated. As we move on with our journey to inspire, energize and motivate the student community with our biggest and better line of this year, we're honored to have with us today Hon'ble Justice Shri R.C. Lahoti. Justice Lahoti is the 36th Chief Justice of India and served from 1st June 2004 to 1st November 2005. With his impeccable rectitude and landmark judgments, he has made tremendous contributions towards strengthening Indian judiciary and upholding the sanctity of the same. He is currently on the advisory board of the Indian International Model United Nations and the Manav Rancha University. We extend our warm greetings to you, sir. Today's lecture by Justice Lahoti is titled Lessons from Law. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dakshita. My dear friends, IITians. First of all, let me offer my greetings to you on this auspicious occasion of Makar Sankranti. Today is Makar Sankranti. Now, why do I make a special mention of this day? There is a reason. On Makar Sankranti, the planetarian position is such that the man is jubilant. His self-confidence, sense of well-being is at its highest. And traditionally, we believe that today is the day of making resolutions, determinations. It is considered, or in Hindi, we call it sankalp. Whatever sankalp is taken today, man is prone to stand by it, and with the help of the God, his sankalp, his resolutions, his determinations come true. So, at the end of this talk, we'll take some determination, we'll take some vow. In the meantime, I switch over to my talk. Initially, I was inclined to share some such tips with you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're audible.
Yes, sorry. No, there was a light failure. I thought the internet connection is lost. But then I was given a feedback by your organizers that IITians or the audience of today are more interested in knowing something which they suppose I know much about, that is, the law and justice, especially the Indian judicial system. The reason I'm told is that IITians have a variety of interest. They are more interested in enhancing their general awareness of the human nature, human character, the interrelationship of the humanity with the universe, apart from specializing in science and technology. So what I propose to do is that, as has been suggested and as has been the understanding of mine with the organizers, 20 minutes I will devote to my talk, and in the following 20 minutes, I will be very happy to answer such of the questions as are put to me. Now, these 20 minutes on which I propose to speak, I'll divide this time under three topics. One is, what is Indian judicial system? Two, what are the lessons which I've learned from my own life and the law and justice which I have practiced during the preceding years? And lastly, a few tips in the background that you are all IITians, you are all men of technology, and in the coming period, you are going to be called as technocrats. Friends, I have spent about 62 years of my life in law and justice. Out of this, 18 years as a judge, about 15, 16 years as an arbitrator and law consultant post my retirement, and earlier about 28 years practicing law at the bar. So I have the unique privilege of having seen the law and justice from all angles, from this side and from that side, from east and west, from north and south. I know all the ins and outs. But so far as you are concerned, I'll confine myself to broad narration or broad description. Now, first of all, the Indian judicial system. The basic question is why justice is required in a society. What is the significance of justice and what is justice? Simplistically put, justice means giving every man his due. That is the simplistic meaning or definition of justice. Every man gets his due and every grievance has to be resolved and vindicated. Why is it necessary? It is necessary for maintaining peace and prosperity in the society. Unless everyone gets his due, unless any grievance which he has is vindicated and resolved, the person would not be at peace. And in the society, when everyone is at peace, then the society prospers. There is a prosperity. Every system of governance, whether it is dictatorship or a democracy, whatever it is, every system of governance has got some system of justice. But we are not concerned with dictatorship. We are concerned with democracy. In a democracy, the systems of justice can be broadly divided into two parts. One, adversarial system and inquisitorial system. In adversarial system, the court or the judge acts as a referee between two parties. If it's civil dispute, there are two parties. If it is a criminal litigation, then there is a prosecutor and there is a defendant who defends himself. Each side has full liberty of presenting its own case the way it likes. Each side has liberty of producing such evidence as it wishes to produce in support of its own case. And then the court tries to find, because there are two different stories, each supported by evidence, documented and oral. The effort of the court is to find out where lies the truth, where the higher degree of probability, who is telling the truth. who is telling a lie, who is speaking the truth. And then, according to the opinion formed by the judge, the truth prevails over the falsehood. In an inquisitorial system, the parties do not have that liberty. It is the judge who makes the inquiries. It is the judge who brings, or the investigator who collects the evidence. And on the basis of the evidence collected by him, he decides where is the truth, where lies the truth. But we have an adversarial system of litigation where every side is free to prosecute or defend himself in the way he likes, and the judge is only a referee. The fundamental principle of adversarial system of justice is that everybody has got a right to be heard and nobody shall be condemned unheard. You must have full say. The judge will hear you fully, and having heard you, then he will formulate an opinion. In India, we have not only a democracy, but it is a constitutional democracy. Meaning thereby, we have a democracy which is governed by a constitution, a written constitution. And our Constitution of India is the largest singular legal document in the whole world. Nobody has got that lengthy and that weighty constitution that India has. If you look at the preamble of the constitution, you will find that what the Indian constitution wishes to achieve is justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity for all the citizens of India, for all the people on the earth of India. Justice has to be social, economic, and political. Liberty shall be of thought, expression, and belief, faith, and worship. Equality shall be of status and opportunity. And fraternity is very important. The object of fraternity is ensuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. Friends, this is very important. It's only the Constitution of India that places the dignity of individual on the same pedestal as the unity and integrity of the nation. The nation is as important, the borders of the country are as important as the dignity of the individual. Therefore, the Indian Constitution doesn't permit the dignity of any individual being compromised. Now, just a broad view of Indian judiciary. We have a three-tier system, as you might have very often heard. We have the lower courts, the high court, and the Supreme Court. The litigation generally starts from the lower court. Then in appeal or revision, it goes to high court. And there is a very important question of law. Then an appeal with a special leave may lie to the Supreme Court of India. Just as to give a very, very brief overview of how magnanimous is the Indian judiciary, how bulky is the Indian judiciary, and how great is the Indian judiciary, unparalleled in the world. We have the annual budget of 34,83,236 crores, meaning thereby 3.4 million crores of rupees are spent on Indian judiciary every year. We have 15 high courts in the country. The number of judges total is 1,098, out of which Presently, working judges are 688. More than 400 vacancies are still there. Look at the subordinate judiciary. We have about 24,000 subordinate judges in the country. 24,000. Out of which presently working are about 18,000, meaning that about 6,000 vacancies are still there. Then, a very important data. According to latest census, we have 2.1 judges per lakh people of India. That means, out of the population, every 1 lakh person have got 2 judges to decide their disputes. Compared to the average of civilized democratic countries of the world, where the judge population ratio is 10 per million. We have, 10 per lakh. We have 2 per lakh. The standard is 10 per lakh. This is one of the reasons why there is so much of pendency of the cases in the Indian courts, because quantitatively we are very, very deficient. The number of pendency in the Indian courts is alarming. Just to give you a feeling of the pulse, there are 73,000 cases pending in Supreme Court, 5.6 million cases in the High Courts, and 4.5 million cases pending in the, 4 crores cases pending in the subordinate courts. This is a big challenge before the Indian judiciary, and every day you might be hearing talks, discussions about it. This is an idea about the Indian judiciary, just an overview. If you have any particular question to ask, I'll be happy to answer it. Now, coming to myself. I was born in the year 1940, and as you know, I started my practice as a lawyer sometime in 1960, and staggering, I reached, by the God's grace, the top position in the Indian judiciary. Very often people ask me, what is the secret for success? I would say there is no secret as such. But since you are all my young friends, I like to share something with you. Number one, I am a believer and I have a firm faith in God. Firm faith in God. Some people doubt. Some very, very minimal percentage will say, is there something like a God? Yes, there is something like a God. You can't see him, but you can feel that there is something like a God. And you are very, very well-informed students that in the year 2012, there has been discovery of God particle. And one who invented this was awarded the Nobel Prize of that year. This God particle is the most powerful particle which accelerates all other particles on the planet. This particle helps give mass to all elementary particles that have mass, such as electrons and protons. It has been very appropriately named as God particle. And in terms of physics, you can say this God particle has a mass and has got an acceleration power to accelerate. But spiritually speaking, this is God that makes everything moves, and that is why God is called a God. Number two, I have been a staunch believer in discipline. I respect elders and I obey elders. Whatever they ask me to do, I have done without any reservation. I joined law, became a lawyer because my father wanted me to take up instructions in law and become a lawyer. My father was also a lawyer, a very lawyer, having very ethical practice. He wanted me to become a lawyer. And because he wanted me to be a lawyer, therefore I became a lawyer. So this is how I respect and obey my elders. Third, I have always believed that work is thy duty, reward is not thy claim. Whenever you are given an assignment, you should perform it. You should discharge your duty. Now, what you will get in return is not your claim. That will come to you. But you have to perform your duty. And then, whatever you do, big or small, do it at your best. Put in your best effort in doing it. Today, my friends, you are a student. As a student, put your best in studying where you are studying. Tomorrow, when you become a technocrat and you are assigned a government job or a private job, put your best into that job. Now, having done the best in studying the course of study or curriculum, forget whether you will pass or fail. Don't remember for a moment whether you will be first class, second class, whether you will top or not. Forget about it. But do your best. And what you deserve, you will get. And the last thing, excellence. People often criticize me that you are a perfectionist and therefore many things which others can do, you are not able to do it because you always want to be perfect in everything. But then I have not compromised. I believe in excellence. Whatever you do, it should be excellent. Now, what is the concept of excellence? In one of my speeches, which I delivered on 26th November 2004 at the CJI, I had said, the concept of excellence, which I believe and according to me is never compete with others. Never compete with others. Compete with yourself. What does it mean? It means today you must be a person better than what you were yesterday. And today, make a determination that tomorrow I will be a person better than what I am today. I don't say that here is a friend of mine. He's got a good body build or that he's very smart in studying. I want to excel him. No. I would never think of excelling anyone else. I would always think of excelling myself. In the evening, I should be a person better than what I was in the morning. And in the next morning, I should be a person better than what I was the previous evening. My concept of excellence is always compete with yourself. These have been my secret of success and nothing beyond. I have never had any jealousy with anyone. I never envied with anyone. But I always envied myself. I always had a competition with myself. Now, lastly, a few tips to you. Friends, one question that has been haunting the humanity ever since the Adam and Eve were born is, who am I? Where have I to go? And what is the purpose of my being on earth? Who am I? Where have I to go? And what is the purpose of my being on earth? Every moment you spend on this planet, remember that you are here for a purpose. You are born in this world to do something which is wonderful and unique. Let every one of you feel you are born on this planet for a purpose. You are born in this world to do something which is wonderful and unique. Firmly believe that you are unique and you are the best. Never, never imitate others. Always enhance your own potential and your own capabilities that have been bestowed unto you by the creator of the universe. Enjoy every moment of your life, wherever you are and howsoever you are. Let your smile change the world. Never let the world change your smile. Let your smile change the world. Never let the world change your smile. This is the secret of being happy. This is the secret of the human happiness. Now, lastly, before parting, friends, you are studying technology, technical science, by what name you call it. What is the difference between you and others? Believe me, I love you, I respect you, and I wish you well. Why? Why? Because you are going to be a technocrat. You are going to be a man of technology. You are very different from the politicians, from the economists, from the educationists. You are a class by yourselves, and you are a class which nobody else can match. The difference from the elected leaders and politicians and the technocrats is that the politicians enjoy the power by hook or crook, no holds barred. But a technocrat exercises authority and power by virtue of his competence in specific fields of study. You have got special skills and you have got particular competence, and therefore you command the world. You command the office, you command the institution where you are, you command the society around, not because of hook or crook, but because you have the competence, you have the skill. The second quality of yours is your cognitive faculties, problem solution mindset. You don't believe in creating problems. You believe in finding solution to the problems. A technocrat will never create a problem. The mindset of the technocrat is that my job is to find solution to the problems. Third, your rule is rule by skill. You don't believe the power of danda. You don't believe in the power of money. You don't believe in the power of muscles. You believe in the power of your skill and competence. So your rule is a rule by skill. Then, fourth, you never claim credit for something done by others. In every walk of life, people are inclined to take credit for something which has been done by someone else. But a technocrat is one who will never claim credit for anything done by someone else. He will claim credit or deserve credit only for that which he has done by himself. Fifth, you have no conflict with others. Why? Because you believe and aim only at moving forward without looking at left or right, and certainly not behind. You never look back. You never look at what is on your left, what is on your right. You simply look forward. You may be slow, you may be fast, you may jump, but your every activity will be directed towards moving ahead, towards moving in front. Sixth, a technocrat is never a loser. He always wins. He may win or may not win, but he will never lose. In all other walks of life, persons either win or lose. But a technocrat is one who never loses. He either wins or doesn't win. And last, I wish to pose a warning. Very recently, I read an article. Friends, the way today technology is moving ahead and the machines are replacing the man, the day is not far when man may be ruled by machines. Today, man is master of machines. Tomorrow, the machines may master the man. Man may become slave to machines. And this is a big challenge to the technocrats, to the IITMs. How do you take care of this position? Today, in this COVID times, of course, there are plus points. Today, I'm meeting with so many students, sitting at my home comfortably because of the information technology. In the COVID times, the entire movement of the world would have come to a standstill, but for the technology. It is only the technology that has kept us moving, even during the times of pandemic. So that way we can feel happy about it, but then it cannot be lost sight of that the time is coming within a few years when man runs the risk of being a slave to machines. And if that happens, then you will lose your integrity and your sovereignty, the integrity and sovereignty of a human being. Today, I say that I am master of myself, but tomorrow I may be called upon to say that I am ruled by the machines around. How do you take care of that? Is a challenge before you. Friends, it has been my pleasure talking to you. In my effort, I think I've exceeded a few minutes, but I've tried to be as brief as possible. But at the same time, tried to cover as many topics of which I wanted to have an exchange of views with you. So once again, thanking you all, and especially the auditors who gave me this opportunity of talking to my young friends. I have very high hopes from you in the times to come. I wish you all the best and all that is best in the life, all the success and the highest position you achieve. That is my desire, my wish, and I pray to the God. If there are any questions, you are welcome. I'll be very happy to answer them. Thank you.
Your words were truly insightful and inspiring, sir. I am sure our audience will definitely take note of everything you said and try to become better humans day by day. Moving on to the first question of our Q&A session. It is said that justice delayed is justice denied. In India, the long time taken for disposal of cases, both civil and criminal, owing to severe burden on the judicial system, have been detrimental to ensuring well-being and justice to the common man. What do you think could be the measures to tackle this?
There are two very often quoted expressions, often used. As you said, justice delayed is justice denied. The other side of the coin is justice hurried is justice buried. Justice delayed, justice denied. But justice hurried is justice buried. If you believe in the principle, as I said, audi alteram partem, we say Everybody has got a right to be heard, fully heard. In that case, some time is involved in the process. But I don't deny that in India, the justice delivery of justice takes a long time. There is a tier of appeals, a second appeals, and then appeal to Supreme Court that delays dispensation of justice. Every day you must be reading from newspapers. Today, our Supreme Court is involved every day in hearing those matters which are of national significance. While the Supreme Court is busy hearing matters of national significance, the disputes between individuals, they are being pushed down because the judges don't have time. But I may tell you that the solution is there. Number one, as I indicated, there should be a quantitative strengthening of the judiciary. We are only 2 per lakh or 20 per million. This must come to 100 per million. So we are extremely short. We are working at 20% strength. So the number of judges should increase, one. Secondly, the judges should resort to modern methods of dispensation of justice. In the recent 2 decades, the information technology has been very liberally adopted by the courts in India. When I was the CJI, in my official declarations, I had said, and I had prepared paper that I think that paper was released sometime in the year 2004 end or beginning of 2005, where I had said that if that would have been followed, then in a period of 15 years, we would have had paperless courts. Paperless courts. But something happened. I demoted the office, and then the policy did not go ahead with that speed as I wished. So there should be a qualitative improvement also in the performance of the judges. So if quantitative and qualitative improvement is done to the judiciary, certainly the delay in disposal of cases would not be an issue.
That was a very realistic and profound answer. Moving on to our next question. In cases without solid evidence supporting either party's claim, how does one give a just verdict? Does this pose any ethical issues also?
Sorry, can you repeat your question?
Sure, sir. In cases without solid evidence supporting either party's claim, how does one give a just verdict? Does it pose any ethical issues?
No. Our system is a judge has to decide on evidence. He can't decide a matter on hearsay. Suppose he reads in newspaper somebody's committed a crime. Based on that information, he cannot punish that man. Our system, which we have adopted, is that the fundamental principle of criminal jurisprudence, which is adopted in India and which is also handed down to us by the British, it is 9 guilty may escape, but 1 innocent should not be punished. 9 guilty may escape, but 1 innocent should not be punished. That is the system we follow. So we have to act only on evidence. If the evidence is there, then the fact is said to have been proved. If the evidence is not there, it is not proved, whatever be the moral or ethical side of it.
Moving on to the next question. How did your views about the judiciary change when you were practicing advocate, aspiring to become a justice, and later when you became one?
No, when I was practicing as a lawyer, then
how did your views about the judiciary change when you were practicing an advocate and later when you became a justice?
Right, I follow it now. I follow it. My views have not changed. See, things the outer manifestation of a subject may change, outer expression, but the basics remain the same. When I was a lawyer practicing and later I became a judge, my views have not changed. The concept of justice and the Indian judicial system, which I have just described, they remain the same till this day as they were on the day when I started the practice. The only difference is that when I was a lawyer, I was looking at the judiciary from other side, from the outer side. And having become a judge, I have seen the judiciary from inside. I had seen the working of judiciary from outside. But now I have seen how the mind of a judge works, how the system works, what are its deficiencies, what is the scope of improvement, which I could not have perceived as a lawyer, but I perceived as a judge. So I have looked at the same thing from two different angles, but my views, fundamental views remain the same.
That was a very fascinating answer, sir. The audience is surely intrigued by it. Moving on to our last question. Is there any final message that you would like to share with the budding youth of the nation before we end this insightful session?
Sorry, like to share with?
Would you like to share anything with the budding youth of the nation before we end this insightful session? A final message?
Budding?
Youth of this nation.
Oh, budding youth. Yes, of course. As I told you in the beginning, and now you have very rightly reminded me, today is Makar Sankranti. We have to make some firm determinations. And I would like the IITians to take certain determinations today. And I would be very happy and feel amply rewarded. And my coming to you and spending all the time with you will stand amply rewarded if you can take certain determinations and prove true to them. Number one, wherever and howsoever I am, I shall exert to my best to serve the humanity and to serve the nation, to serve the people of this country. Wherever and howsoever I am, my effort would be, wholehearted effort would be, to do something for the benefit of the humanity, in the service of the nation, and for the welfare of my fellow beings of this country. Number one. Number two, had we been in physical presence of each other, I would have asked you a question. What is that which is our country? The country is ailing because of corruption. Because of corruption. Corruption is eating into the roots of our prosperity. India, even today, is the golden bird. भारतवर्ष सोने की चिड़िया होता था, सोने की चिड़िया आज भी है. फर्क ये पड़ गया है कि ये there is a unequal distribution of our national wealth. And why it is? Because of corruption. So long as the corruption is there, India can never prosper. And in technology, there is no room for corruption. The computer cannot be corrupt. Of course, if a bug comes, it's a different thing. But otherwise, you cannot corrupt a machine. You can corrupt a man. You cannot corrupt a machine. Machine may fail or work, but the machine would not be corrupted. Therefore, every technician, every technocrat should take a firm determination that I would not indulge into corruption. I would not encourage corruption. I would neither take a bribe nor give a bribe. I may suffer a little, doesn't matter, but I shall not be corrupt and I shall not tolerate corruption. If you can do these two things, only these two things, I'm very sure that you're going to change the face of this nation. So I have very high hopes from the technicians and technocrats of this country. Only you are the saviors. The politics has become corrupt. The executive has become corrupt. But the technocrats still are not corrupt. Remember the name of our great president, Dr. Abdul Kalam. Because he was a technocrat, he was a man of science. Nobody could raise a finger at him when he became president or before or even after. We take his name with respect. Why? Because he was a technocrat. He was a man of science. You are all men of science. Take a determination that will fight corruption and never succumb to corruption. So use your skill and competence in the service of the humanity, the nation, and the fellow beings. And do the corruption, you will not permit corruption to eat into the roots of our society.
I'm sure our brief conversation instilled the fire of patriotism in every youth that heard this. We will surely take those two oaths and ensure that corruption reduces in India over the next few years. Once again, we would like to thank Justice Lahoti for joining us this afternoon. We thank the audience for attending the session. Please fill the feedback form shared in the YouTube chat, which will help us improve in the upcoming sessions. Scheduled for 9 a.m. tomorrow is a lecture on atomic clocks by Dr. David Windens.